Controversial move today by Governor Roy Cooper. He says it's time for all students to go back to the classroom. State health officials say the push for in-person learning comes after a new report that showed the risk is very low for the virus to spread in schools.
The governor also pointed to this report as a reason teachers would not be moving up in vaccination priority. So what exactly does this report show? WCNC Charlotte's Vanessa Rufus dives into the numbers.
Well, here's the report. 3 CDC doctors authored it, and they looked at how schools in different states and countries handled in-person learning during the pandemic. They even cited 11 North Carolina school districts as successful examples. Alexander, Ashe, Gaston, and Iredell-Statesville schools were part of that report. Data showed those 11 districts had a combined 90,000 students and staff in classrooms this past fall. And over 9 weeks, there were 805 COVID cases. 32 of them actually originated from schools, meaning 96% of the cases came from the community at large.
There were no cases of student to staff transmission. Children rarely transmit COVID-19 to other children and rarely transmit it to adults in an in-person school setting.
So what went right here? Well, researchers concluded masking was a big factor. They said most cases of transmission within a school happened during lapses in masking protocols. They said sometimes these were situations when students removed masks to eat, or special needs students had a hard time keeping their masks on. Researchers say this also points to a need for spacing out students well and increasing ventilation.
It comes down to strong public health safety measures in our school.
Now, what went wrong? Well, researchers cited multiple cases from indoor and contact-prone sports, which health officials in Mecklenburg say should be avoided under a modified COVID-19 directive that went into effect today. There were also outbreaks elsewhere resulting from more crowded classrooms with poor ventilation and masking exemptions. And in another interesting finding, the North Carolina report found that 8% of the state's students attended private schools, but those settings accounted for half of the state's K-12 cluster reports. Vanessa Rufus, WCNC Charlotte.